Hello and welcome back. I'm People Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We are in the middle of winter in British Siberia and all the cold days are ahead of us, but that can't stop us from planning the future expansions and future things and actually figuring out how we're going to make a little bit of money because we are running dangerously low. No, you did not miss anything. Don't worry, we are exactly where we were last time. We just have to make sure that these guys are not actually trying to do any workability or working over here, and now that is all fixed. Great. You have started constructing on that side. That's great. You are assigned to the correct construction office, and we have 2 tracks already done on that side, which tells me I can just turn this one off. And this one could become a higher priority one because we do need that flip over, and then of course, because this is how it works, we also need to flip or have the diamond crossing go in the opposite direction. Otherwise we can't get to this track from that side. It's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to have that one figured out. Great. So yeah, these guys, I think we are getting to the point where we have enough workers sitting around. How many uneducated do we have? 21 workers of lower education. Uneducated workers, just 7. We invited a bunch of NATO members to come in and hang out with us, so I feel pretty confident that we can just invite another 30 and get those educated. I'm not putting any arbitrary rules on this playthrough, so I'm happy to just keep inviting a couple of these guys. But the expectation of that is that I'm turning off the import of workers from the border with that commitment. And with that in mind, let's build a construction office that actually can help us build the Republic without breaking the bank by inviting foreign citizens every time we need to build something new. This is getting a little tight, but I want the bus to be very close to the source, and the source here is, you might have guessed, the bus station just in front of us. Can you make it work through here? Yes, probably, but if you're going to make that one work, we probably have to make this construction office turn around. Like so. Is there another place where you could place this? Is there a place, should you build a bigger one? Should you just build one here for your bus construction office? Honestly, the answer to that could be, yeah, this is not a bad place. Let's just plop it right here. Construction office 1 and 2, make this your high priority, and then make this your high priority, and then I just move all the buses that we already have down into this direction, or into this domain. Sure, why not? Use that word, why don't you? Logistics, cool. We are about done. That's great. Once logistics is done, what is next? More logistics. But we should be able to unlock a distribution office here next, and then the train distribution office is the one after that. I don't know that we're going to have an easy time getting trains. Why are you guys parked here? Getting trains without getting a loan. We still have a little bit of money left, and that is nice, but we need wagons and all the other things organized, which is not going to be cheap. Plus, we need, well, we need a lot of things really built to make sure that we can do what we're trying to do. One thing that I could do is I could start importing some grain if we have a couple extra workers sitting around, but we really don't. We have 30 people, not even 30 people, so that's not going to work. Let's increase this to more teachers. Okay, how's our teacher number anyways? It is 67. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything, so let's look over here. What is our teacher number? It has increased, and the light increase is the one where I see people with lower education getting educated, and the bigger increase is the one where I feel like I already purchased a couple, or always purchase a couple, so maybe it's okay. I would like that number to be closer to 30%, but we're not quite there yet, so we didn't get the luck of the draw by inviting a bunch of higher educated ones, but that is fine. I do still want more workers. You could wait. You could just sit and wait and say, hey, let's see what happens here. Down the road, eventually, you will get enough happy workers. It looks like I just have to increase this number of workers too, so we can actually serve everyone while we're still unhappy. Speaking of which, I did talk about a pub. I think a pub makes perfect sense. Let's see what options we have. I do need that happiness booth. Yes, they cost alcohol, but then they produce a lot more in the time that they do work, and that is important enough for me to just get them up and happy and give them what they want. There's a kiosk with 2 workers and 24 visitors. There's the pub, the big pub, or the little kiosk. The little kiosk still only has a road connection, which is interesting, because someone actually has to deliver to them. But this... I don't hate this location. If I can get a road connection, and I just had one. There we go. I don't hate this location, and because the pub has 2 worker slots, it should be able to function. By the way, make this one high priority and this one a high priority, please and thank you, because we need that trash picked up yesterday. Those guys can get turned on, and then we have these guys ready. Great. Cancel all source buildings, thank you, and start assigning this as your drop-off for now. This may turn into just another cargo station on that side, honestly, for pickup. But this is your drop-off for now. And then I would like one of my Russo bolts to pretend to go to one of those guys. That's called a road depot. Thank you very much. And then instead, I want you to go here, wait until full, whatever you can load there, and go drop it off right here and stop going to the depot, because that's not going to help you much. And then having this set up should give us an opportunity to be a little more effective. And I like what you're doing here. Yes, someone actually dropped something off in just small amounts. All our small trucks should be able to stay near the city longer, which should mean they generally pick up the stuff that I want them to get. This is the same one, so I'm going to actually get one more, because I still don't see them parked here often enough. But this looks good. We don't have waste separation as of now. We will have some once we turn the industries on, because by default they can separate waste that the citizens cannot. But this feels much better. Yeah, you're slowly filling up. That's fine. Biowaste, burn waste, other waste. No problem there. I may set one up for hazardous waste. No. This is what we're going to do. Slow down. Hazardous waste gets a special treatment. You can dump hazardous waste directly into the customs house. Yes, it costs us a little money, but I have no big plans on having a incinerator right now, burning anything, because that's more workers that I don't have available yet. So that can just do whatever it needs to do. Number of passengers waiting here is a little nervous. The courthouse, I don't believe we have to build yet. Let's look at one of our older buildings. 87% health. That is fine. 88% health. That is fine. 89. This is all fine. 83, not great. Okay, keep that in mind. 87 there, and then 88 here, but these are relatively new people. And 10 workers without a job tells me that we have extra space available, which I don't love, because we already have other buildings set up for this guy, but this one does not have other buildings. So if you're done with all of those buildings and they're full, feel free to go to other buildings too, if you don't mind. I just don't want to waste our higher educated people, 39 from here, on places where they're not welcome. Great. So worker number is going in the right direction. Our research is continually going in the right direction, and once I have this distribution office constructed, I may wait for the rail distribution office a little bit so we can increase our educated workforce, because there is a limited number of, party officials there, and then party officials working on your research that you can use, but I do need them relatively soon. So this looks okay for now. I had 76, now I have 77, so the number of educated people is going in the right direction. Construction crew, would you mind coming down here and pretending that that is a high priority for you, please and thank you. That looks good. Come on, just a couple more. Just a few more pieces. You can do it. I will be happy. Very happy. There we go. Get the buses from here, and the buses that are technically assigned there to come work at this stop. Excuse me, this one. Yep, everyone come down there. And these are all mostly buses. So 1, 2, I may just leave one down there. I will probably need a bus in just a second anyway, so that should be... It may be okay. Maybe okay. Everything that we're doing may be okay. Everything is just okay, but that's fine. 119,000. Can we afford a train with that? No. So what I would like to do actually is let this research finished, and we're really close. And once this research finished, I should be able to build at least a distribution office that picks up, what is it? Picks up grain from the NATO side. That's important. It has to pick up grain from the NATO side. Down the road, I may turn that distribution office into a helper for our farm. So that distribution office should probably stay right here. It increases driving distance a tiny bit and slows down our speed a little bit. But I think we should be able to import as much grain as we feel necessary once we can actually build that, and I feel good about that. What is most of our stuff that we're currently making? Yeah, I want to turn the NATO money into rubles. So the covered holds distribution office is probably our best option for that. Let's give it just a second more. Okay, it's done. We've done it. Great. So now you people can educate, and everyone else, let's build something really cool together. Distribution office, that's the rail one. This is the real one. 5 or 10. 9 tons of steel versus 5 tons of steel. 1,700 work days versus this. I'm looking more at the size of the truck capacity that I have to deal with here, and not anything else. I actually get a little bit of power from out there. I don't mind that. I don't think this is a permanent space if you put it there. I don't think this is a permanent space. You wanted to put a field here. I don't think that we have extra fields to put, though, so you may as well just make this happen. Okay, make this happen. Construction office. You know what I want you to do. Looks like our waste containers are actually showing up there, which is great. And this guy is doing exactly what I wanted to do, and we don't have to waste that much money on that. All of those things are great. This is exciting. Seeing this many people, not with educational problems. Workers, uneducated workers, 0. So all of them got through. That's great. Did we lose a couple of immigrants from the third world? Very possible, but let's just overload the system a little bit and get more workers in, because 20% of you are already ready. That's great. That's great, great news. All I want you to do is just get the workers and bring them to all the places that you seem fit. Construction office 1. This is a friend for you. Please get this one done relatively soon as well. And I would expect, yes, workers are just waiting here. That's cool. We have some crimes being reported. Got it. Police has to happen, but once we have police happening, we need a court. Once we have a court happening, we need a jail. And once we have a jail, that is another source of things that we have to import relatively often and get things just organized. And then you still need the workers for that place as well. So there is work to do to make those actually happen. So don't take it too lightly once you get to that point. Are you done? Did you get it? Yes, cool. Construction office, this is your next task. Please and thank you. I know it's going to be a little expensive. Lots of asphalt, lots of concrete. I'm glad that I have dumpers galore for this thing to get it actually done. So that's good enough news. Okay, 75% health. Oh gosh, no. 71. Don't. 75. 74. Okay, well, that was a mistake. That is too close. These have 82%ers, but this initial settlement is just not going to work. These are all gone, but relocate some people. This residential building is full. We're going to relocate all of them. Why? Because these conditions are not conducive to keeping your republic size going up. And you can see that it's bad because we are, these buildings were full at some point, and they're not really full in all situations. And if these people have 74% health, I know what it's from. That is bad. We can't have bad. So it's just make sure that these are all turned off and build a couple other residential locations nearby, just a little further away from the source of pollution, and then we should be okay down the road. That's fine. There's nice open space right here that we can probably just put a couple buildings in. Right, 62%. We don't have that much capacity left, but we may as well put 1 or 2 in here just to fill the void that we created. Cool. Footpath there, footpath there, and then there's a little bit of room here. And I don't think 62% really just means 600 cubic meters of heat. We just added 10, not 600, but 62 cubic meters of heat. Now we're at 72. So we still have a little bit of time before we hit 80%, so we may as well use that for our advantage. I think there could be one fitting right here or here. Yes, it's a little fuller than I want it to be, and I'm going to leave this space right there alone because that may turn into a kindergarten relatively soon. Not yet, but we're not quite done with all the things that we wanted to do yet, so don't get distracted by that. But 19% unemployment is great. This guy really only needs to deliver workers, and I currently have them go to the gas station to refuel their trucks. I think that is okay. That's our highest priority. Let's make that happen. You are still producing heat. You should still have multiple... Let's see here. Where do you actually get your stuff from? Where can you get workers from? You can get workers from a couple buildings over here, plus the bus station. So yeah, that one has enough heat. It was just producing too much pollution for the area, and that's fine. It should also mean that our clinic is overloaded half of the time, which is not super helpful. And the clinic is currently without a fuel supply, which that one we can fix really easy. There you go. Now you have fuel coming in there, and these guys are doing okay at producing what we need. So let's just allow that. Workers with higher education, okay. Uneducated workers, 22. So they're trying to catch up. That is good news. Here's our school, and it's not overloaded. That's all we need. That's what we want in that situation. Yes, do construction, do your things, start constructing on the larger buildings. That is fine. I don't think we have anyone living without their own flat. That's good. But this is what I'm waiting on. So let's get this in, and then we can start producing. It's done. Woohoo! That was a little faster than I expected, honestly. But let's do the thing that we actually came here for, which is get a couple covered holds. Too small, right size, too slow. Too small, too small. So we really only have this choice. They're all going to get white to signify that they're very, very important and that they're very, very different than the other ones. And let's just get them moving. I'm thinking these 2 trucks, because they're so small, no, they're 5-ton capacity. They should be fine. I will actually deliver directly to the distribution office because that should make life a little easier. Get everyone in here and then tell the office what I want you to do. Office, I would like you to go out here and load, and I'm not going to tell you what to load until now. There we go. I want you to load just grain. We have chemicals in there already, and I do think we need chemicals as well, right? Chemicals right there. Good. I would like you to go and drop off directly into here. Unload crops. That's all I want you to do. 50% should be fine. Okay. And then, because this is a distribution office, it has no problems doing multiple tasks at once. I will tell you here to pick up clothes once you're more than 40% full on clothing. And currently we have clothes set to this. Okay, so they will sell a little bit of what we had there. I don't like that much. Let's set this to 85%, and then we're maybe in a better spot for the time being. I like that. Yeah, you just bring that to where? Bring that to the other border, and we're going to make you use... This one is fine for now. I think I'm overloading this one. I should probably go to the bigger one, but I would like to restructure the road here before we do anything too significant there. So give me a minute. So we're bringing our clothes right there. On that note, this guy, we're going to turn clothes imports off, because that is who's responsible for bringing all the stuff out to those places. So let's start filling up the grain capacity here, because you see these trucks are just parked there not doing anything because this guy is waiting for some activity, and that's fine. The trucks should arrive relatively soon, and we can turn it off to say, hey, just drop your crops off in here instead of the other place, and that will be okay. And there you go. They delivered a couple things. Wonderful. Turn this on. you want to run this at maximum half full. We have 7% of unemployed workers. Some of those were related to, well, jobs that are currently going on here, but yeah, they're all at least set to just 2. So I guess that's okay. And once we get the extra 150 workers in here, we have 150 extra workers there. That's probably not enough. You need a couple more workers from somewhere. Where are you going to pull them from? There's a little bit of extra space right here. There's one extra space there. The kindergarten looks fine. I think you can increase the number of workers there just by a little bit. And that should get us enough of what we need for now. You need some fabric in here, buddy. Okay, turn that one on. Got it. Workers are happening and crops are out. They're going through the crops super fast. Okay, good to know. Turn this one down to like 25 and turn this one up to about half of what this capacity has. Don't know why the warehouse is full of clothes here, but that's fine. You're starting to produce. That's what I want to see. This is not working. How is this not working? You just set it up. This is not working because the warehouse over here where they're supposed to pick up their clothes has a better capacity for the grain, and this is exactly where you will get greedy. You're like, ooh, train, cool. Yeah, let's not look for trains. I know what train I want. I want the steam locomotive over here. I probably want one of these two because they're cheap. Yeah, we already kind of knew that. The problem is happening down here. This is running out of coal. It doesn't look like it, but it is. We need something done here really fast because I'm not sure that the pollution was actually hurting the citizens over here. It was most likely the temperature that was low when we run out of coal in this thing. And it just doesn't have enough. Okay, what are we gonna do? I'm pausing here because this is high tide for something to happen. This guy has to be built, and we're actually going to start building it just with a dirt road. That is how important it is. Construction Office Group 1, I want you out here, and I want you on this job right now. That's the first thing. The second thing is going to be building a quick road depot. That's a technical service office. Close, but it's not a road depot. Rebuilding the one that we had here earlier. Use a bunch of dump trucks that we have available right here, so we don't have to buy new ones, to get out of the area. I want all 4 of you. There we go. That's what I needed. I wanted all 4 of you available, and then I will just tell you what to do. Go there, load coal, like so. Wait until loaded. Very good. And just go and drop this off as fast as you humanly can, which is not very fast considering that these are super slow little trucks, but that's okay. You can go too, you can go too, and you can go too. I expected all 4 of you to actually make that journey out there right away. And you may say, Bebo Joe, you're just overreacting now. To which I will tell you, no. This is Siberia. There's one rule in Siberia, which is do not run out of coal. Don't look at fancy little trains that you can maybe do something with. Don't do all these other things that may matter or may not matter to you at some point. Make sure you don't run out of coal at any point, because you remember what our percentage was over here? 70%. 134%. I don't think it's very far away from the truth of what this thing is actually producing right now. Yet we are running at 100% capacity of this thing that wants to use 1.5 tons of coal a day. And we are in the middle of winter, which means we have snow everywhere, which means it's going to be harder and harder to get the coal delivered that we actually require in that area. So be, well, very prepared for that. We're going to leave this over here, hopefully. There's not much more I can do right now. The 4 trucks bring 20 tons of coal in, which is more than what we had stored here earlier. That's a good thing. It's just not enough. But that's that. Cool. What else is going on? Oh, things, for example, over here, because whatever train we're going to get will be a steam train. The steam train has to refill somewhere and refuel somewhere. This one would be great for resteaming and refueling, if it had that. So we need to bring a little bit of water in, and to do that, I think I had a plan for this a long time ago, but then I got distracted, because that's what usually happens when I have big plans and things go awry at some point or another. Not an excuse, it's just how things work. So let's get that one in somewhere. F3 so we can actually see a little bit. This water switch is really just here because I don't know if there's going to be any other reason to have water come through this area, which is also why we have a tower sitting right on top of this. So we may as well get this connected this way for now. Cool. That feels good enough. It is not high priority. This guy is the highest priority, so just get it done, hopefully soon, and keep as much coal in here as you possibly can. I know I said that already, but you have no idea how important that is, because here's the thing. If I lose all of these guys right now, we have a big problem. I have a little bit of money left, sure. I can take out a loan. Yeah. Not really, though. That's not really the answer that we're looking for. So let's just turn on the overlay and see if anything dips way too low. But we are at negative 41, and all of them are in good range. I don't care about the buildings out here. Yes, we should care about the kindergarten, but no, we really don't. We just need this to actually get what it's looking for, and then we should be good. Distribution office, you are doing what I want you to do. I'm not even assigning the water stuff over here to my construction offices, just in fear of this one not getting everything delivered that it's looking for. And remember, we are currently getting all our stuff from the NATO border, which is not really helpful here if we need that many tons of bricks. So maybe that's something we can reassign to this group. No, I think they're coming out there. It's just they're stuck behind a snowplow. The early snowplows, I'm pretty sure, don't really speed us up anything. They're just kind of in the way for a lot of the time. So, nah, that's fine. Lots of vehicles heading this way. I'm sure there are some of these units attached to that, which is totally cool. All right, let's talk about water. You can get started on these things, I think. Why? Because this thing is full of coal now. I am 45 days, right? Okay, this is enough for 30 days. In 30 days, it's going to be warmer. And in 30 days after that, it's going to be warmer. So I'm assuming that the current percentage of the production will actually go down. This also tells me that if I get any more buildings, I need to build another heating plant, because we are close to the max capacity of what this thing can actually handle, which is totally fine. Again, this is Siberia, and we can't just assume that things are just going to survive because we wish they would. We actually have to make sure that all of those things happen appropriately when they do. Looks like these guys are getting the last two things done over here. They're not really necessary, but I don't really have a reason to turn them off right now. I'm hoping that you actually just complete this. You're gonna go home before that happens, that's fine. Let's stop wasting money a little bit here. Let's slow down just for a second and talk to our two buses that are part of this party, which is that one and this one, and tell them, you did a good job, but we no longer require the services of the foreigners, so stop going there and wasting your money on rail lines that we now have already completed. Thank you very much. Distribution office, you're getting close. Okay, that's nice. But there's obviously more to do. And then there's also the question of, should we just start building our own, or getting our own grain going? Which is a valid question, 100%. And the answer to that is, yeah, maybe. How many people don't have their own flats? Nobody yet, but there's not a lot of extra room. There's one building, really, that has some extra space available, but that's not very convincing. And we just talked about this guy is already pretty much overloaded, already at capacity, so we have to figure out where we're going to build the next part of the city. Again, I am not 100% sure. Actually, I think I'm okay with this. Let a couple people actually move in these buildings and see if they can make it through a winter. I'm okay with saying that these two buildings are probably in the pollution zone, but I think it's very possible that the other ones really aren't. So we'll see what happens with them when it happens. Fuel tanks, you are here. That's nice. Can you deliver something to this? There's a power station right there, so that should be relatively easy to manage. And then we just talk to you. Get all of the 5 buildings, 5 vehicles that are currently assigned to this, and just tell them, when you go to the heating plant next time, go to the distribution office and just... It's going to try to unload something. It's not going to deliver itself, is it? Let's see. Let's see what happens. Who is currently heading to... You're heading to the heating plant. Great. Where are you? You are relatively far down the road here. I would like to have this work very similar to what a road depot is doing. But let's see here. We have 1 second. Yeah, you can turn right there. The fuel tanks are coming down this route. That's fine. You are parking here, and then you're heading somewhere else. That's cute, but it's not what I want you to do. I know that you didn't unload anything, but that doesn't give you my blessing to do whatever the heck you want. So let's get all of these things signed up here. You go there, you go there, you go there. Where's the rest of you? There were too many people or vehicles on that line that I don't really fully trust. But let's see here. You go there. 3 are in a depot. Oh, they're heading to the depot. Cool. Should be fine. If we have 5 trucks sitting here, I think we did it right. This is by far the most important task. Unload. I want this to be 80% full all of the time, and pick up your stuff from right here. Load just coal. Thank you very much. Go. There's our distribution office set up for that. Wonderful. Part of me thinks maybe we should start filling this one up too. The game says that distribution is supposed to work by priority. So if this one's the higher priority, they should always go there. But once you have 5 trucks out actually doing something, the priority kind of goes out the window, because if it takes longer for the trucks to get back here or get back to the source and then deliver something here, you don't really have a chance or a choice. So I can't really rely on that. This one is getting done. Great. That means we can get our train in, which tells me maybe we let them load this one up. Just buy a new truck. Why go risk something that is technically probably just fine, just to use a distribution office over a new truck, just a dedicated line? There's absolutely no reason to do that. So let's just wait for the truck to show up here. Then you're gonna go refuel just like that. Wonderfully done. Then you come down here, and then we just tell them, hey, your job is going to be to load here, wait until loaded, get coal, and bring that coal to the coaling station and wait until unloaded. The coaling station doesn't have any way, it doesn't have an extra loading thing. That's fine. We're just gonna not have you unload there. It is dangerous to let your vehicles unload at a station where there's no extra room, because then emergency vehicles can't go, repairs can't happen, and I think those are 2 pretty good reasons not to do it. So just keep that in mind when you do the things that you do. How about we get a couple third world immigrants here? What do we have currently for uneducated workers? 17, so just the 20 that I just invited. Perfect. We still need more workers, but we're getting close to the capacity of this. We are at the capacity of this building. We talked about that 12 times now, so don't overdo it. Time for a train. Okay. It is time. Yes, we're running out of NATO money. That's fine. Let's go over here and do the things that we actually want to do. I would like a steam locomotive. Very good. We talked about the different capacities. You got a little more expensive, but that is fine. I'm guessing you are the winner. And then what do we want? For right now, just... Wow. Not cargo cars. Where are my cargo wagons? Cargo wagon. Right there. What do we want for now? We really just need a way to transport crops and clothes. Everything else is secondary, and whatever we do with that... Can we do type? No, I can't do type. Whatever we do with that is just... Well, up to us. I think we just have these 2 available. Dresden and this one both carry the same. They have... This one is shorter, but they both have the same capacity. I don't see any good reason why we wouldn't take this one. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just for fun, because we can. Okay. Now we have to tell a friend to go out to its new home, which is going to be out here. And that new friend should make it out of this space. Where are you? There. Can you not? Can you not do a thing? I don't think you can do a thing. Go here. The game was just like, I don't know what do you want me to do, because I have wagons here that I don't know what to do with, which is perfect. So you're doing the thing, great. I would like you now to go here, load all the wagons that you have available. I don't care what wagons you can load, but I want you to load all the wagons and then head this way, just for good measure. You didn't pick that up. This way. Okay, fine. Why not? Why is that not a thing that you can do? That feels like a bug with this new building. I don't appreciate that. I guess I have to wait until this one arrives the first time and then we'll see what happens. You didn't even use the coaling station to do your thing. That's lame. You better have enough coaling in you to keep doing the thing that I need you to do. Okay, from there, go then to here. Okay, now it worked. Great. Now we're gonna follow you and see. Woo! Real steam! It's still such a high contrast, but this almost looks like the train locomotive, the Molly, that I grew up with as a kid, so that's pretty cool. But there's nothing to see on here. I don't love that. So let's see what I can do. Nope, can't change the color on anything, so that's just gonna be the way it is. Hopefully you go to the coaling station though and get your stuff figured out there, because that's my next hope for you. There we go. Steam train. Steam train. Yeah, it's a diesel station. It's like, I don't know what to do with this. And there's the coaling station. Beautiful. If I tell you... No, you're just turning off all your steam. That's not super helpful, honestly. But okay, fine. Let's turn this one back on. Let you run forward. And now you're full. Maybe now I can get a good pic... This is just a terrible picture. I don't know what to do with this one. Fine. Continue moving. Get my wagons. I don't know how full you're going to be after the wagons that you're going to pick up from here, but that's fine. There you go. That's a pretty good length if you ask me. What I would like you to do now is this line is taking you there, which doesn't need to be the case anymore. I want you to instead go here instead of the train depot. Okay, remove that, stop. At the custom cells, instead of loading what you have here, load the other stuff, but you can't really do that unless you got orders to become a real train. So let's just make that happen really quick, and then we can turn on the heat to actually get a couple things moving over here. I'm excited for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly what we had a second ago, but now we can actually tell it to load what I want it to load, which is crops from here. Wait until loaded for sure. Done the warehouse. No, just erase from line. Let me do it again. The first stop for you is going to be, excuse me, I don't need that. The first stop is going to be the custom cells. Thank you very much. Load, wait until loaded, get crops. Cool. Drop them off all the way here and unload stuff. And then in here, I would like you to load clothes, and I don't care how much you get, and then unload them again here when you get to that location. Cool. Easy enough. Let the train roll. That's all I wanted it to do. It's a first train, and I can't see a thing with this thing. But at least it's now spring, and we have a little more light. That's exciting. But yeah, this is what I wanted. Is it going to be worth it? I don't know. And honestly, maybe we'll just have to figure that out next time. Why am I racing through this? Because I can. Leave me alone. 105 tons of crops that filled up nice and fast. That's how I like it. And this will mostly fill up the crop storage that we have though, which means our distribution office with the trucks is turned off and doesn't have to deliver any more crops here. I don't like what you just did there. This warehouse, I want you to wait until unloaded because I don't want you to take any crops back. And this is part of the problem that I talked about earlier. If I allow this train to do it, we may run out of clothes for short periods of time when stuff like this happens. But I can't tell this one to have any leftover clothes there, but at least now we have a good capacity going that makes us money, and I'm excited about that. Cool. Yeah, drop off here. That's good, because now we have exactly what we wanted for so many different reasons, but I think we're safe. Okay, well, the first money is coming in. B-Ball Joe thinks he's safe. What could possibly go wrong? But no, honestly, money, money, money. We're good. Thank you so much for watching. Next episode is going to be probably about thinking about expanding, getting a construction industry, because that has to happen now. And that will happen when it happens. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.